Okay, greetings everyone. This is First Centurion 753, starting a new series for Empire Total War, playing with Prussia. This is a Patreon request series. We're calling this Prussian Glory. I'm sorry if there's Prussian Glory series out there. There probably are, because this game's been around for a while, but this is a Patreon request, and there's a little bit of a challenge involved in this Patreon request. It's actually a very difficult challenge. I'm going to be playing a long campaign for this challenge, which I'll easily do this if I complete the challenge. The challenge is to eliminate all major powers in the European sphere. Possibly Ottoman Empire. I guess that's like a sub-challenge. This challenge comes from Ari Holyfield, the founder of my Discord page, Roma Imperia, which you can find in the link in the description below. So goal number one is actually to unite the German states as Prussia, which is what happened. So I have to take out all the German minor powers, for one. Goal number two is to establish a Prussian colony in the New World. And then the final, ultimate goal, number three, is to eliminate all major European powers in Europe. So that's going to be a tough one. Can I do it in 100 years? Probably. But I don't know, it's going to be tough. I mean, Russia's got a lot of territory. Sweden's going to be a challenge. I don't have to take out their colonies, apparently. So England, France, and Spain, as long as they're out of the European theater, that will be good enough. And the Ottoman Empire, I guess, is like a sub-goal to that. I try to get them out too, but I might try to align with them first. So I'm sure you guys know the description of Prussia. I guess I can read it real quick. Prussia itself is the only German state since the 13th century when the Teutonic Knights carved out a new Christian state on the Baltic coast. The present Kingdom of Prussia is a new state, the result of the union between the duchies of Brandenburg and Prussia, and it is a kingdom only because the current ruler, Elector Frederick III, has decided to improve the status of that king. In doing so, however, he has been careful not to offend the Holy Roman Emperor, Archduke of Austria, and calls himself the king in Prussia, not the king of Prussia. That was an interesting tactic. I remember reading about that. The form of words is a fig leaf. Frederick is king, and he is the king of potentially powerful, influential Protestant nation, a center of gravity within the Germanies. For all those who would look elsewhere for a lead than Catholic Austria. So 1700s Protestant states looking for a Protestant leader, I guess. Prussians believe, not without reason, that their virtues as a people carry them through any trouble. Martial discipline, sacrifice, a sense of order, but this sense of duty should not be confused with ignorance or intolerance, no matter what others may say. Prussians have always had to fight, but that has made them competent and not bloodthirsty. They have had potential to become a great continental power thanks to their martial traditions, many of which can be traced back to the Teutonic Knights. These could form the basis for a truly world-beating army. That's what we're going to try to do. Under the right guidance, they could unite German-speaking people. We have to do that as a single entity, dominate the Baltic, and perhaps extend their reach beyond the confines of Central Europe. We're going to try to extend the reach beyond the confines of Europe as a whole. Prussia is a very interesting state in the 18th century, rising to power. Have Frederick the Great, the enlightened despot. Some people said Prussia was not a nation with an army, but an army with a nation. They've really sort of spring to glory with the War of Austrian Succession, annexing Silesia, expanding their power. And I'll let this go.
Once in place, increase the size of your army and look to expand your territory to encompass the region of Silesia to the south. You could then try to link Brandenburg with historic East Prussia, currently separated by Polish-controlled West Prussia. If possible, maintain good diplomatic and trade relationships with fellow Protestant nations such as Britain, Sweden, Denmark, and the United Provinces, whilst watching for the advance of Catholic France and Austria. They may try to claim your lands, and those of your allies, in the name of their corrupt church, and your capital will likely be their first target.
Okay, so good point there. The Prussians do institute a public education system, mostly to indoctrinate their young men and prepare them for the military force, I believe. That was the goal there. But Frederick the Great was considered to be an enlightened despot. His father woke him up every morning with a cannon fire, I believe. There's a story that his father, when Frederick was like 21 or something like that, he tried to escape or run away, and his father ended up catching him and a friend who helped him try to escape, and his father made him watch the execution of his friend. So very harsh discipline there. There's a funny quote on this game. I don't know if it's actually ever been confirmed, but Frederick the Great's father, who was Frederick the First, or Frederick William the First, said something about like, the most beautiful girl in the world would be insignificant to me, or would be a matter of insignificance to me. But tall soldiers, those are my weakness, which is a hilarious quote, which I always bring up in my class. The kids love that one. So Prussia's an interesting story. Rises to power, like I said, Franco-Prussian, not the Franco-Prussian War. Also, War of Austrian Succession, they grab Silesia, which is the recommendation. One of the recommendations here. I'm not going to move on Silesia right away. My first move is going to be Poland. I think that has to be knocked out first. Probably I'm going to take Warsaw, because Warsaw, you can take Warsaw right away. Actually, but I'm not going to declare war on Poland. Instead of declaring war on Poland, I am going to do a diplomatic maneuver here, where I actually declare war on Saxony. Is going to be the first one I declare war on, because they are a protectorate of Poland and Lithuania, so that'll draw Poland and Lithuania in without bringing in Poland's allies, I believe. Is that how this works? Yeah, they're allied to Denmark and Russia. I don't want to go to war with Denmark and Russia. Instead, I'm going to declare war on Saxony and pull Poland and Lithuania there. Saxony should be able to fall pretty quickly. I have a pretty sizable army in Brandenburg. I was planning on doing some recruitment early on. 3 infantry in Brandenburg and 1 cavalry. And then, what do we have here? They have a lot of militia. So, we are going to recruit additional infantry here. Recruitment. 1 cavalry regiment. And 3 infantry. That's the max we can do there. And then it's in Brandenburg. And then in East Prussia, 1 cavalry and 2 infantry. I think we start out with a pretty good amount of money. Yeah, we still have 2,400 after all that, and we're making 4,700 per turn. Prussia's pretty good, but Brandenburg is the real wealth of the state here. So that is pretty significant. We might as well advance this rake into Saxon territory near Bohemia. Actually, I want to see what Bohemia looks like. They don't really have anybody in Bohemia. If Austria declares war on us, I might grab Bohemia pretty quickly. But the big move here, I think, is going to be taking Warsaw right off the bat. We'll occupy that right away and lay siege there. But first, we need to do a few management things. Let's move our gentlemen into Magdeburg College. And we will do canister shot. Canister shot is like, you have to go canister shot right away, because once you have canister shot, then like from the defensive point of view, you're really unstoppable. I think I'm going to wait 1 turn before I actually declare war on Saxony. And what else am I going to do this turn? I'm going to look for a few diplomatic moves. Or should I just declare war on Saxony right away? Do I have enough? 3 line infantry. Yeah, they're no match for the line infantry. I probably could declare war on Saxony right away and get this started. Let's try some diplomacy first before we declare war. Recommendation is to side with the Protestant nations. Sweden is a Protestant nation, but they are unfriendly. Historical grievances. Okay, so I guess we're not going to align with them. I thought I might align with them. England looks friendly, and I think they'd be a good trade market potential. So let's look for a trade agreement with them, and we got it. Good. And let's see if they will join in an alliance with us. No, they will not. Okay. We only have an option for, I think, one more trade agreement, and I'm going to go outside the realm of Europe and try to establish a trade partnership with someone we might be able to maintain the trade partnership with, and that would be the Maratha Confederacy. And they are not interested, really. What about the Mughal Empire? Trade with them? They do want trade. Okay, good. So we have 2 trade agreements. And there's an overland trade route with Austria. Maybe that'll keep them sidelined for a while if they agree to that. They do. Wow, that might keep them out of the war that I'm going to have with Poland and Lithuania. Saxony? No, we're going to be declaring war on you. Alright, so I don't have any allies. I don't think I want any other allies, because I don't want to get involved in any wars. I wouldn't mind being allied with Great Britain. Great Britain, that was the other major war that Prussia fought during the 18th century, the 7 Years' War, where Britain was allied with Prussia. Britain was basically the naval power fighting France in what we call in America the French and Indian War, but it was part of a greater global conflict. Some historians say you can categorize that as the first global conflict. What did I want to do here? Build an opera house towards a Berlin. Did I build an opera house? Maybe it was here I wanted to build opera house. Berlin Academy. Where building browser. Huh. The Berlin Academy is here. Yeah, that's where I wanted to do it. No. Building browser. That's not building browser. That's building browser. Conservatorium, you can build all the way to the Berlin Academy, which brings in 12 wealth per turn and increases your technology rate and happiness. So we're going to take our first step towards improvements with the Conservatorium, which spends most of our money. Yeah. Seek allies. Do I declare war right away? I think I do. Because we got to get moving, because we have to conquer all of Europe. Or not all of it. I'm not going to probably go after the Italian states. I'm going to try to preserve them. If I can get Courland on my side somehow, that would be nice, but they're going to be against me probably early on, especially if I am at war with Poland and Lithuania. Unless Courland is they're a protector of Poland and Lithuania. They'll be at war with me right away. I have to conquer all the German states. Portugal I don't have to conquer, I guess. Morocco I don't have to conquer, but they'll probably get conquered. So, and I guess Denmark does not count as a Germanic state either, so I don't have to conquer them, but they will probably get conquered by Sweden. So, let's go ahead and declare war. Start the war right away. Saxony, open negotiations, declare war. I'm not calling mine. I don't have any allies. Well, whatever. I think that might ensure that Poland, Lithuania does fight. War declared. Okay. Army lays siege. Continue siege. This army is going to be going up against these guys, easily defeating them. And that is Poland, Lithuania. I'm going to lay siege, actually. Let them attack me. I always lay siege and let them attack me. Here, we will lay siege as well. You know what? I'll lay siege there. Scratch that. I'm going to defend city. Sorry. Change my mind there. I need to protect my provinces. Once this army commits, then I think I can take West Prussia. Yeah, that's part of the strategy. Alright, so my first initial moves are there. I gotta watch my conquest too, because as I conquer territories, they're gonna get the aggressive expansion negative effect on a lot of these countries. So that's something you do have to manage your expansion moderately if you're going to be playing one of these games. So here we go. Let's click the turn here. And they want an agreement. What? Get out of here. No, 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 no. Refuse that offer. You gotta be kidding me, England. Bahamas. Why would I want the Bahamas? So, like I was saying, 7 Years' War, major conflict in the middle of the 18th century between England and Prussia on one side, Austria and France on the other. And it spread global. It was a global war. It was called the French and Indian War in America, where the French and English colonists got involved, as well as different Native American groups, Iroquois and the Algonquin and Huron. And here is our first battle. And we're gonna fight this one. Let's see. So you get a battle in the first episode. Congratulations. But yeah, so that's why I was hoping to get an alliance with England, but that didn't really work out. But Prussia is a military power. It's a land-based power primarily throughout all its history. Prussia will eventually unite the German states under Otto von Bismarck in the 19th century, and that will lead eventually to World War I. Which, interestingly enough, we'll be having a World War I series on this channel soon, Making History the Great War. And I think the first one I'll be playing is Japan, but I'll probably do a German one too. It's very interesting about Bismarck. There's a lot about Bismarck that was interesting. Sort of foreshadowed the World War I with claiming that the next Great War will start by some damn bloody thing in the Balkans. And there was a lot of warnings that Bismarck gave that the Kaiser really didn't follow, and so I always thought that was interesting. Where did I want to put? All right, I know what I want to do here. I've seen this battlefield before, I think. We're gonna put our cannon, which does not have canister shot, right here in the woods. A little bit of cover. Our pikemen will go behind the cannon. Infantry support, because they'll probably charge them at some point. We will need... I have militia. I'm going to put one infantry line here. Alright. And then let's put another infantry line here. That's a good field of fire. If they can get that. And I think I'm not sure exactly where they're coming from. I think I'm going to put the militia right here in reserve, because I do believe they're probably coming from this direction. They might be coming from two directions, actually. So I might have to watch to see where they go. That being said, I'll also move cavalry in reserve over here for possible flanking move. And the general will position here in the middle. Right by that little cart over there. Move him over. Can I move him over? Move over, General. There's our General. Right there in the center. I forgot the General's name. Oh, it's right here. No, it's not. I didn't look up the General's name. Alright, so this is the General and his body escort. Militia in support in the rear. Frontline elite. Prussian infantry, they have the best morale in the game, I think. The Austrians have a little bit larger regiments. Prussians are at 120, but the Austrian morale, I think, is at 6, while the Prussian morale is at 8. Everybody else's morale is at 7, so the Prussians have an advantage there in morale. And we'll work that advantage in the... I might as well start this. We'll work that advantage in the research, try to exploit that a little bit further. Where are they coming from? There's... okay. Firing at their cannon. Well, we just got one. And their cannon looks to be overshooting us, I think. And then, yeah, there is some other infantry there, too. Let's move the militia down into this foliage here, give them some cover. Who's coming in here? Reinforcements. I think these are Polish-Lithuanian reinforcements. These are... Alright, these are the citizens. They'll be pretty easy to fight, so it's good to have the militia engaging them. The main force, under their general, which is firing on us with cannon fire over here, looks to be there. We got one of their general's bodyguard. If you could take out the general right away, that would be great, but they don't have any elite troops. They just have pikemen and militia, and we already took out one of their cannons. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to try to flank the position with this cavalry and take out that artillery with a flank maneuver. So far they took out 3 of our infantry there. I'm going to advance this. Let's advance the militia into the foliage a little bit, give them a little bit more cover so they don't get hit by their artillery. We've taken out a few pikemen. We are using solid shot instead of canister shot now. That's the only option. We took out a second cannon. Wow. Alright, so there's only 2 cannons left. Let's move a little quicker here. Has that infantry committed? They are marching. And they've sort of mixed their ranks here. Militia mixed with the pikemen. They're going to be no match for my Prussian infantry, I don't think. The general... The first move will be to take out this cannon. Let's do that now. Take out the cannon. And then we can take out the general from the rear. So this is a nice flank maneuver. We've got high ground on the hill. Poor choice for the Polish-Lithuania. Looks like the militia, looks like they're moving to try to counter my cavalry charge. Let's see if we can get enfilade fire on them. I don't think they're going to catch them. Enfilade fire is when you fire down the line, which with solid shot, that will take out the most possible. Canister fire, you don't need to... Well, enfilade fire would work, but we're going to take out their artillery right away. Here's our Prussian cavalry charge. This is provincial cavalry. It's not elite regiment cavalry. And we took out a couple there. Just got to finish them off before their reinforcements get there. They're down to 10. Currently winning. Oh, we're slightly losing the battle, huh? 9, 7. What the heck is that? Wait a minute. Where the hell are you going? I don't think I gave that order. Get out of there. Oh, that's the general. Oh, that's not my general. I thought that was my general. Put my general back. Yikes, I screwed that up. Alright, let's chase down their general. If I can get their general, then we should turn this infantry. If I can take out their general, that'll be a huge morale blow. I'm ready to turn this infantry here right into the field. Let's march them quickly. And that should take out those guys pretty easily. Our artillery will continue to fire on their pikemen, way out of range. And let's get our infantry lined up. It's going to be in the field, open fire, but like I said, much more elite. There's heavy fire coming in from the 5th Regiment of Foot. This is the 6th Regiment of Foot. These guys are elite soldiers. And they're going to blow these guys away. They should easily, with their morale, wipe them out. I might want to bring in my pikemen to hold the line here, because it looks like the militia has engaged in a melee. And these other units are still very far off, taking artillery fire. And let's pull these pikemen into the melee. Our militia is under attack by numerous groups here. We pull these pikemen into the melee, and then you set up the pike wall formation here. That will make them unstoppable, pretty much. Where is my cavalry? My cavalry is running off. Looks like they got ambushed. Alright, so that cavalry flank worked with the artillery, but not so much with the hunting down of the enemy general. And pikemen are advancing. These guys have taken some hits, actually. I might pull them back. Wow, they took a lot of hits. Hopefully they don't lose morale with this. Were they not shooting that whole time? We've taken some heavy casualties. If I can't move the general up here. Alright, some of their units are starting to withdraw. I think my general's taking fire. I gotta pull him back. Alright, their units are starting to waver a little bit. Blow these guys away. Closing ranks. Uh-oh, who's that? My militia is losing. Canister fire, not canister fire. Militia's starting to fade, but a lot of their units are fading as well. It might be time to arm bayonets here. And take the... Oh! Whoa! Really? The general has popped up. We're charging him with bayonets. If we can take out their general, that will be a huge blow. To their morale. I'm gonna chase him down with my general. And we'll go for a weak spot in the Polish-Lithuanian line. There it is. Enemy general killed. That will destroy morale. And the rest of the line is fading. There it goes. Alright, so at this point, I want to chase down some of these units with my... Gonna continue the fight, chase down the units with my... Hold the canister shot there. With the cavalry, we want to take out those pikemen and ideally the militia. The other ones don't really matter. But if I can catch the pikemen and the militia on the retreat, and this, you know, I think this makes sense to charge these guys after battle because, and I wish I still had my cavalry, I could charge a lot more down, but that's where a lot of the casualties did end up taking place on these battlefields at the time. After one side broke, and you saw this in the American Revolution a lot, after one side broke, then the cavalry charge came in and cleared out the rest of them. So, you know, I don't think this is like game-ish at all. I think it is actually works with the time period. Because once one side, the army that stood their ground was the army that won the battle. And the Prussians, that's one of the strengths of the Prussian military, because they trained so much and they drilled so much that they stood their ground most of the time. And by being able to stand your ground, then you did not lose the battle. Yeah, they were, by training so much, then under the battlefield conditions and the extreme horrors of war, men were used to following particular orders, and since they had been sort of literally drilled into their minds, how to follow orders on the battlefield, they were much trained. Professional soldiers were much better. The more trained you were, the better you were, basically. And there's been arguments about nationalism too, particularly in World War I, guess. Well, maybe there's not so much more training in World War I, but I've heard nationalistic arguments about Austria-Hungary not having the nationalistic pride that other countries had during the time period. So that's one of the reasons why they lost. I don't know if that holds, water now. I don't know how much water that does hold, or how much legitimacy that holds. That's something that's up for debate. Anyways, the point was, well-trained Prussian military does win the day. And we've chased off all the elite units. The rest of them are... well, actually, you know what? Let's chase the rest of them down, actually, because we are laying siege. And this is a defensive battle, not an offensive battle. So we will have to launch an offensive campaign against them. So the general is just going to chase down these guys here. And we'll get as many of them as we can. Go after this cluster here. Looks like we got a good number there. Yep. And you just got to finish these guys off, really. They'll probably surrender. But I want to make sure I get the surrender, because I don't want to have to fight another battle. That's a close victory. Yeah, it definitely was a close victory. I don't think my Prussians were firing on that line there for a while there. I might have accidentally clicked the off button. I guess you can check that out in the video. But yeah, a lot more heavier casualties than I was expecting, I think. But we didn't pose some good casualty. Let's see. Line infantry. Pikemen took out the most. Yeah, that pikeman wall, that's impregnable. 232 casualties for the pikemen. Line infantry had pretty good numbers. Demiguns actually had 70. That's actually kind of impressive. And our cavalry had a very poor performance. They took out the artillery early on, but I didn't see what happened. Maybe I can go back. Oh, I can't go back in the automation. I lost the video. But I should have saved the video, and then I could have gone back and looked at what exactly happened with that cavalry. I think they might have been like ambushed by some flintlock citizenry that might have maybe thrown a volley or two in on them, because it looked like the Polish general was in retreat. And we have another Polish column advancing into Poland from Lithuania. Are they going to challenge us? No, they are not. Okay, so now the Poles are saying they will give us $600 for a peace treaty if we give them Eastern Prussia. Are you crazy? I don't think so. And now they're advancing into Eastern Prussia, a raid against one of our factory towns there, and a raid against, looks like an opera house, or a coaching inn. That's what it is, it's a coaching inn. So they've raided Eastern Prussia, but there's no way they can take Eastern Prussia. We have that secure. There is a fortress there. And we've got our firelock citizenry protecting it as well. Trade link with the Mughal Empire, which is the dominant power in India to start. Eventually the Maratha Confederacy does take over, typically all the time. Maybe I saw one or two games where the Mughal Empire defeated the Maratha Confederacy, but I think there were certain circumstances that have to happen for that to happen. I think 99% of the time, the Maratha Confederacy takes over India in this game. And they want a battle here. And I'm going to save this battle for the next episode. So thanks for watching, and I hope you tune in again in this series. I am going to call this Prussian Glory. Prussian Glory. That's going to be the name of our series. We will save this battle for the next episode, and I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, please leave a like, and feel free to comment down below. Looks like we got a little bit of a challenge in the next one. 567 men to their 867. I do have pikemen. Most of their men is flintlock armed citizenry. They have cavalry, which I could probably take out. I think I have one extra. In this event, I'll have an extra line infantry instead of militia, so that'll give us a little bit more morale. You see the morale there is 8 under militia. Morale for pikemen is 7, so we've got 4th Regiment of Foot, 3rd Regiment of Foot, and 2nd Regiment of Foot here. That should be plenty to take out this group. So, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next episode.